I'm really honored to get this award, to be honest. I have a very different story from Annie and the other incredible people that have gone before me. I got involved with Women for Women 8 years ago when I met Zainab together with my wife Christine, not far from here in London. And in the last 8 years, I've actually gotten to know Women for Women in a couple of different ways that are probably more unique than most. The first was about 7 years ago. Actually, it was almost exactly 7 years ago, and I was lucky enough to take a trip with Zainab and a pretty big group of women, and me and one other man, to Bosnia. And that trip was pretty impactful, I would say. We spent a number of days visiting opening the first women's center for Women in Srebrenica, which I must say is one of the more moving days of my life. We spent time with watching a class that Zainab talked about earlier. Spent time watching a group of women graduate from this program, which was a jubilant, emotional kind of event. Spent time in the homes of women in the program, hearing their stories. And really importantly, spent time with Zaida and some really incredible women who actually work for women in the field. And I would say that experience was extremely impactful and quite emotional and really made me understand pretty quickly the power of this organization and the impact that this organization is having on all of these women's lives. The second experience I had was about 4 years ago. I was lucky enough to be one of the original trustees of an organization called the Private Equity Foundation, which I'm still on the board of. And we try to use private equity investment techniques to look at charities and try to figure out which charities make the most impact on women and children and societies for the money spent. And Women for Women asked for a donation along with a number of other charities, and we did some very rigorous due diligence on Women for Women. We looked very carefully at all the accounts. We tried to figure out exactly what the impact was, and we tried to understand the sophistication of the organization from an investment perspective. And proud to say that Women for Women was awarded that money over the other charities. We gave a bunch of money to found the first Women's Opportunity Center in Kosovo, which is actually going to open in a couple of months. And that experience taught me a lot about Women for Women as an impactful organization. And then finally, I've been able to watch my wife, Christine, over the last 8 years, who has given an unbelievable amount of passion and commitment to this organization. And it astounds me continually, the impressive nature of the women in particular that this organization attracts and the passion and the commitment that people feel for this organization. So for me, as a man, I guess Women for Women means something different than it means for the others who have gone before me. To me, it's a very impressive organization, not only because of the impact it very clearly has on women's lives, but importantly, because I feel emotionally and intellectually and gutturally that the best way to impact society, to impact families, to impact economic and social and development in these countries that you've heard so much about tonight is through women, and by educating them and by building leaders and by creating skills. That is the best way to actually have a broader impact than just the one-to-one impact on women. So that's why I'm proud to receive this, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you.